I'm just going to freeze frame for a second and explain that I'm making this video because I had difficulty assembling the tempo from Velotric, and now I'm assembling the breeze, and I think I came up with some good ideas and solutions for fixing the issues I had the first time around. The first issue I had was trying to pull the bike out of the box. I found it extremely difficult. So what I did this time was cut along the side and opened it up horizontally, and it made it much, much easier to get to all the pieces. And I was able to take each piece out easily and work on it that way. And it also gave me a nice platform to kneel on, because cardboard does give you some absorption on your knees if you're my age. This is also the time where you have to clip all those annoying little pieces of zip ties, and it's easier to get at this way than when the bike is standing upright, in my opinion at least. As you can see, my dog is here supervising everything that I'm doing, as again I'm getting rid of all the zip ties and all of the insulating pads that are around all the pieces. I apologize ahead of time for probably very bad video quality and audio quality. This is actually my first YouTube, and you'll notice that I did do it in time lapse to speed everything up. Just as a side note, I'm an actual consumer. I did not get this sent to me for free. I did pay full price for this Velotric Breeze. I really love my tempo, and so this one is actually for my wife. You'll notice that I have the front and rear fenders on there, and it actually took a while to figure out how to get them out of the little slots that they were jammed into. But Velotric does a very, very good job in shipment and how they pack everything, and I've never had any problems with their shipping, at least for the first two bikes that I've owned. I'm still trying to get rid of all the packaging materials and trying to get that rear fender off before I can actually start doing any assembly instructions. Again, it was a lot easier with that cardboard there, little something to kneel on, and I think at this point I probably realize that it's a bad view, and I am going to go ahead and rotate the camera around. Hopefully this new camera angle makes it easier to see. And this is the first issue I had, was with actually rotating the stem. And so I did as they instructed for putting the handlebars on, but before I put the handlebars on, I wanted to see if I could rotate the stem. And it was very difficult on this one for me to get that Allen wrench nut out. And eventually, pulling hard enough, I was able to loosen it. But it still did not come loose until I wiggled it. And that would be the hint that I give everyone, is to wiggle that front stem fairly violently, I'd say, and then you can rotate it, because I knew I wanted to rotate it up. And I figured, why put on the handlebars until you rotate the stem to the position you want them to? I also have a habit of not tightening everything until I get everything in place. So I put in the handlebars and put in the Allen wrenches, I would say 90% there, but just enough so they would stay in place and I could rotate them a little bit. At this point, my quality assurance dog left, apparently. He was too bored with me. Putting on the pedals is straightforward. You do just have to follow the directions that they say on how to tighten. You tighten one of them in one direction and the other one in the opposite direction, but Velotric does a good job of explaining that. The front control display was, I thought, was incorrectly labeled, so that it was upside down. I was incorrect though, and you do put it on with the words upright. And so that's what I'm trying to demonstrate to you. I actually put it on with the words upside down, and I had to later turn it around and fix that. So the words go upright, even though it looks like that's the incorrect way to assemble it, but you do put the words upright. So once you get on the front display, you put on the headlight, and that also goes on that center screw, which Velotric does a good job of explaining, and there's no real issues with putting that on. That's fairly straightforward. After I put on the front headlight, I looked at the front reflector and rear reflector, and I've never been able to find the right place to put those, and the assembly instructions don't tell you where to put those. As for putting on the front wheel, I decided not to follow those instructions because I find it very difficult to try and put on that wheel while holding up the bicycle. So what I did was I flipped the bicycle upside down, and it made it a lot easier to put that front wheel on. After I put on the front wheel, you'll notice I miss a very important step rather, which is to loosen and tighten the front brake assembly. That's why my wheel does not move smoothly. It's because I did not do that step. Later, I do the step off camera, and it moves much smoother. That's it for the video. The front and rear fenders were not included in the video, and they were actually kind of annoying to put on and adjust straight. So hopefully you have an easier time than I did. Comments are welcome. Thank you.